Hello, Chuckabutties. Time to open the very first Equities Pandora's box, though you may have to wait till the end of the video to get the details. But the general question, if an organisation is taken over by a radical progressive ideology of any persuasion, does it adversely affect that organisation's ability to really focus on its core heart and soul? Hello, Chuckabutties. Welcome. Thank you for joining me, moi, Nigel Cecil, entertainment entrepreneur. Yes, I already anticipate that our regular viewers, our fair-minded and equitable friends, are saying, Nigel, you can't get away claiming to be an entertainment entrepreneur if Hillary is standing anywhere nearby. Hello, Hillary, because Hillary insists I qualify such a claim by saying, Nigel Cecil, entertainment entrepreneur, somewhat of a legend in my own lunchtime. Now, in saying this, if you've never joined us before, we'd just like to explain how it all started, because we do like to have a little bit of light-hearted fun in these video presentations, so that whoever you are, you feel encouraged and welcome to get in touch and express your views, usually by this email address. Now, our regular viewers, we call our fair-minded and equitable friends, many are members of Equity. Equity? Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers, and other creatives across the United Kingdom. Because, would you believe, nearly 2 years, it might be over 2 years, Hillary, but certainly our friends who were members of Equity got in touch and said, Nigel, please will you do a little channel so we can express our views without fear or favour, equally and fairly, because you now perceived at that time, and it seems to have been a credible perception, that Equity was moving towards, well, a sort of campaign where it was really being driven by a radical progressive agenda. And you now even more so think it's being driven by a radical progressive agenda, for better or for worse. As we try to be equal and fair to all, it is worth noting that trade unions, when they were originally inaugurated, were the workers' arm of the socialist movement. The political arm was the Labour Party. So there you are, two arms of socialism. So it may be true to say that Equity, in adopting an ideology that says it's progressive, it's radical, it's activism as it happens, is doing nothing more than reverting to what a trade union should really be about. So having said that aside, where does it leave us now? Well, we've noticed with this channel, whilst we don't seek tons of views, we just do the videos, and at our age, Hillary, it's a little bit of fun. And when we get some response, we're very grateful, even when you hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much, those of you who have. We're over 100 now. So we're very pleased about that. But anyway, I'm digressing, aren't I, Hillary? Because Hillary also says I was vaccinated with a gramophone needle when I was at school. So true, Hillary. I'm digressing so far now, I've forgotten where we are. But anyway, yes, the system was, of course, when we looked at our channel, the viewers that we have, whenever it was an equity topic, the viewing figures tanked. And when we started to digress at your suggestion to other showbiz issues and apply the principles of media communication and the showbiz family, we got more viewers. And when we then started discussing the Labour Party, the Conservative Party, the Reform Party, and even the Liberal Democrats, and saying, well, if you applied show business ideas to them, and how they communicate with the electorate, it may have impact. And some of those videos, well, they got more than 200 views. Yes, marvellous for us. So now you've come up with the idea, If we mention equity, well, who gets the views? So why not have Equity's Pandora's box? Yes, we've got round to it, Hilary. Equity's Pandora's box, which when we open it, well, it's a topic that relates to equity rather than policies which may impact outside of equity. This is just something internal that relates to possibly the heart and soul of equity. So are you ready for this one? We'll set the video going with a bit of suitable music. The first, Equity's Pandora's box. Open the box. Chakabatis, open the box. The inaugural opening of Equity's Pandora's box. Rather heartbreakingly, the first item out of the box brought by you to our attention concerns the tragic events which took place in Liverpool on Monday evening, the 26th of May. We sincerely hope that those seriously impacted are now well on the way to a full recovery in heart, body and spirit. Why is that in Equity's Pandora's box? A few days ago, you brought to our attention an email that was sent out by Equity for which that tragic incident provided the catalyst. And reading that email, those of you who are Equity members have said you are rather upset by it. And would we put, forward your thoughts about that email and how it seems to indicate that being taken over by a radical progressive ideology means that the heart and soul of what entertainment and the showbiz family is all about has somehow been, negated, put onto the back burner. Why are you saying this? Well, Hilary, it's a bit screwed up now, Hilary, has sent me the email, and we've had a quick read, and the two items you really highlighted were the fact that it mentions the far right, and saying, it's nothing to do with Liverpool, but we'll just mention the far right, and how, I won't go into details, but you said, why were they mentioning the far right? That's driven by an ideology, isn't it? But again, in fairness to everyone, the TUC, the Trades Union Congress, have a policy of calling out the far right. So it is somewhat understandable if an opportunity arises, Equity is going to promote that fact. So you're saying that in this instance, they should not have done that. But the main issue you are flagging up is the close of the email, which says, yes, Hilary, I'll be careful how I read it. If any member is concerned for their safety in the workplace at this time of heightened tensions, or if you have had any work cancelled without process being followed, please do get in touch. And it's this last bit that's upset you. If you have had any work cancelled without process being followed, please do get in touch. It's understandable why a trade union might say that, but there is a time and place for highlighting such a fact. Showbiz entertainers know and value our audiences. We relate to them. And if a tragic event takes place, the first thing any professional entertainer will be doing is, what may we do to help? How can we get involved to help our friends, the audience, who've been involved in this tragedy? They wouldn't be thinking, would they, Hilary? Has due process been followed about cancelling our gigs? They'd be on the phone. Can we help in any way? What's happened? Because others come first. Professionals are well known for charity events. And so this idea that If due process has not been followed, that would be the farthest thought from most entertainers' minds. And so in putting that in that email, it raises the question, if an organization, any organization, is driven by an ideology, does it mean the core heart and soul of that organization is somehow put onto the back burner? So we'll leave that one with you and invite your comments, because we'd be very pleased to hear about them. What do you think for this first opening of Equity's Pandora's box? What will be the next topics? Well, that's up to you, our fair-minded and equitable friends. Do get in touch, and don't forget, as always, to each and every one of you, good work, good art, and in showbiz, better remember to keep your fingers crossed. Professional solidarity to everyone together. Have I got to say comrades, Hilary? Comrades.
Please hit the subscribe button and join us again, because together every viewer helps. Thank you.
If you're not already a member, join Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom.